If you're just joining us, welcome. Page Promote Group. Let's get some light on so you can see who you're talking to today. We're now streaming live on Facebook. If you are seeing this live, you are seeing the very first webinar here in the Page Promote Group, where we have a few friends want to provide this to us here as an asset for anybody here joining the group to kind of enjoy some of the benefits of the group. I want to go live as early as possible, show you some of what we're doing in here. There's a video earlier in the timeline. It's the very first post. They'll tell you a little bit about what we're about. If you're catching this, please tell us your industry. Let us know what industry it is you serve and who your ideal buyers are. I'd love to know. And then we can connect if some of you guys are looking for each other here. Give me just a second, and I'm going to get this pulled up. At the end of today, we're going to go through profile optimization. At the end, you'll have 5 tips that you can go through. I'll give you a link. So everything that I'm talking about is kind of a guide, right? A recipe. I can show you how we'll do that. And if you'll bear with me, I'm going to get this. I'll show you my LinkedIn here. But I'm going to get this link sent out to a few people and see if we can get some of our friends here in the group. There's only 12 of us, so I don't expect a spectacular turnout. All right, profile optimization webinar, profile optimization webinar. Please join. All right, guys, I'll hit record here in just a moment so we can upload this and get this to anybody. Profile optimization. All right. So inviting some friends. If you're just joining us, thank you. We are live in the Paid to Promote group. If you're not in the Paid to Promote group, please join us there at facebook.com/groups, Paid to Promote. Today, we're going to talk profile optimization. So let's give it a few minutes. Let's let our friends join. We've got 12 members in the group, and then as well some friends in Messenger. I invited them. Welcome, friends who are joining. I see we got a handful of people here. Give me about 30 seconds and I'll get started. We're talking profile optimization today. We're talking how do we get somebody who maybe will see us one time to follow through from seeing our profile to our landing page and take action, whatever that may be for our business. So pretty simple. It should be about 20 minutes. Kind of keep it short. I'm going to run through. I'm really amped today, really excited. This is our first go live for our new group with our new 12 friends. And there's my best buddy, Corey, who just joined. Thanks for joining us, Corey. I'll try not to call on you. I'll try not to put you guys on the spot. But if you do have anything to add or any questions, I'll take all those at the end. Let's kind of go over this. Welcome, everyone. If you're checking this out on Facebook, please let us know what your industry is. Let us know who your ideal buyer is so that we can connect. If you're one of those people, maybe we need your services. If you don't tell people about your services, then they'll never know. So anyhow, thanks for joining us. Let's hop right in. So what are we going to do today? I'm going to go through 3-4 steps for profile optimization. I'll give you some examples. I'll share my screen. At the end of this, anybody who's catching this, wherever you got invited, whoever invited you, ask them for the link. I'll give you like my beats, basically my script that I'm going through today, the notes that I took to prepare this. And everyone in the Paid to Promote group, this is inside of our shared Google Drive. You have access to all these things. So thanks for joining us. I see some really, some new friends and some old friends, some really cool people here in Zoom joining us. So I'm really excited about that. I will not let you down. So step 1, get your piece of paper out, get your notes out, whatever you're going to do. But step 1, let's have a discussion. Right? Step 1, optimize your profile so that when people are looking at your profile, within seconds, they're deciding your worth. Is it worth it to connect with you? And this is something they have to be able to see within a second, usually, right? Because that's the world we live in. So these are questions that go through our head when we're making these decisions. Boom, see a profile. Do they look like an expert in their domain? Do they look like a leader? Can they help me? Consumer oriented, or if you're B2B, it's still, what is that business? They're still thinking like a consumer, right? They're not creating your profile. You've created your profile so that you can provide them something, right? So they're saying, can they help me? Simple. So if you can trigger a yes to each of those three questions, do they look like an expert? Do they look in their domain, in their field, right? Do they look like a leader? And can they help me, right? Those three questions, if you can trigger a yes to each one, you can connect with top people, venture capitalists, Fortune 500, founders, thought leaders, whoever your ideal prospect is. So that leads to something we'll discuss at another time. But ideally, these people that you have looking at your profile are going to be your best buyers anyway. You want to be attracting those people to look at your profile anyway. So if you can trigger yes to each one of those three questions about optimizing your profile, then thought leaders and your ideal prospects you'll be able to connect with at scale. So that there's a reason we might want to do this, right? But to get started, what does that look like, right? What does it look like from that perspective? It's with the headshot. People see that picture of you, but it doesn't nowadays, especially with an iPhone, you can just take a picture with that little portrait mode. But it doesn't have to be like a super professional picture as long as the people believe that you made an effort versus, a picture you passed out on a couch. I mean, you've seen some crazy stuff on LinkedIn, on Facebook or whatever, or to be a picture of your favorite team, right? That's not going to really get people to connect with you or your ideal buyers to connect with you. So it doesn't have to be anything over the top as long as they believe you put the effort in to make it a professional photo. And the reason for that is we want to increase something called our add back percentage. So anybody here on Facebook, if you're here in Zoom live with us, is that making sense to you? Do you know what's an add back percentage? Right? It's the percentage of the connection request that you send out that get accepted. So maybe you're asking people, hey, take a look at my profile and see if it makes sense to connect. Hey, take a look at my Facebook. I'm the founder at my company. Let's see if it makes sense to connect. That'll usually get you a look. And if they can look at your profile, they answer 3 questions. Maybe they'll take those next steps, which we'll talk about here. So what is that in regards to the photo, let's talk about taking that up a few notches with something like this. A smile. Sorry, I forget to smile too. Because I get really passionate about the training, the teaching stuff. I love that. I guess I should have started this out with what might qualify me to talk in this. I've been doing lead generation, business development for 15 years, successfully with hundreds of companies you've heard of. So we can go into all that, but this is what I do every day since I can recall. So anyhow, it feels like this is the only thing that's ever mattered in my career is going out and helping other business owners find their perfect ideal buyer and then reach them at scale. And this is one good part of it is just this profile optimization. And we'll keep talking about it. But once somebody finishes judging your headshot and your cover photo, they might go to that next thing. So let's take a look at my little LinkedIn. It's not the best example, but it's definitely something we could look at together. If you want me to look at your profile, please drop it in the comments. Drop your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook profile, or if you're here in Zoom with us, you can just pop it in the comment. We'll look at it together at the end of this session in about 8 minutes or so. We'll go over questions and all that good stuff as well. So here we have a simple headshot, right? And that goes on about what I was talking about here, and that if these people have judged you, we're going to look at this next headline, right? That's maybe this part. Or in Facebook, it might be your about or description or job description, right? We have some comments here in chat. I'm gonna take a look. Thank you. I see your profile. I'll take a look with you here in just a moment. So here's our headline. If you're lucky, they've given a check mark to your headline, to your photo, and to this, your cover photo. The more thought leadership that you can provide in this, the more the leader of your domain that you can be in this photo, which obviously I could use a little updating here, but the more likely it is that they've given a check and they're going to go down and they'll read some more about you or read your bio on Facebook, right? At this point, when they hit your bio, you're giving them an opportunity to click through and go to your landing pages. Or if they're on Facebook, they're getting an opportunity to click through and go to your electronic business card or your website or your calendar software or whatever that case may be. So if we take a look here, I don't know why people do this, but the biggest mistake is they say what they do, they don't say how they help you. They don't say how they help me. If somebody doesn't show how they help me, then I'm probably not going to spend a whole lot of my time on them because we're busy professionals, business owners, stuff like that. So big mistake that almost everyone does on LinkedIn is they're not thinking consumer oriented. How can you help somebody? If you can state your business proposition, how you help in 1 or 2 sentences, then you're able to do that. So you could take a look at my profile, for example, CoinHost, right? That's my main baby, my main business, my dream, what have you. It does everything as a service. If you don't know what this term is, then we're probably not the right business for you. And we spell it out here in case you're curious. Pretty simple. All right, but what do? I provide dummy-proof lead generation for small business owners on a shoestring budget because we're not talking ad gen, we're talking organic, we're talking positioning so that we can do those kind of things. So it continues on. Services include, we also manage business owners marketing community that's quickly becoming a top resource community. That's you guys. That's you guys that are here today. Give them the ability to access, talk to us, these kind of things. These are what we're hoping that they've spent a second on, and that they may continue to do the other things like come choose an appointment or do whatever they're going to do. Our call to action here in the links. Sorry, I punched my mic a lot. Great, but it doesn't end there. To really optimize everything, you need to optimize every part of your profile. Articles that have graphics that look engaging. Write an article, have people view that. You're interacting, you're engaging with other people. But make sure that you have logos for your businesses. Well, Facebook got me in a bind here, because when people see stuff like this, how are they supposed to believe this business even exists if there's not even a logo? But anyhow, this is really important, and I've goofed, so there's plenty of room for all of us to improve. But let's make sure we have a company for each. A logo for each company we've worked with, so that we don't have that kind of assumption. We don't look silly like this. And then the next important thing that I like to say in LinkedIn profile optimization is to make sure that you have recommendations. Get recommendations from people, because it just gives that social proof. And if you don't want to ask coworkers or peers or professionals or customers or whatever for a minute to write something for you, I say get over it. Don't be shy. There's a gateway into that, and that's to just give one. I've always given one first. Now, just because I gave somebody a review doesn't mean that they gave me a review, but it kind of puts that mentality out there. So the biggest part of what I want to go through here is there are ways to be comfortable. You can, like, asking for that recommendation or knowing how to optimize your profile. This is just a recipe. Like I said, for all of you that joined here, I want to add something here in just a moment after we go through questions. But, at this point, if you have hit check on all of these points, now it's time to expand your profile. Expand your network. Now it's time to get paid to grow by connecting and requesting connection requests, which, with your ideal prospects, which will weed out people who aren't interested, and maybe get them to take a look at your profile and click and do all those things that we just mentioned. So if you are interested, in learning more about this, or you have some questions, you can join us again tonight at 8 p.m. We do another webinar that goes a little bit more in depth with the growth strategy. How do we talk to people? What do we say? How do we get the connection request and all that? And just a quick bonus to everybody, just 5 things, including the profile optimization, which is part 2. But like what y'all just made me think of was I didn't optimize my profile before coming in here, and there was those logos, and I wrote down, hey, make sure you have logos, because I do that. I see something like this and I go, I'm not connecting to this guy who doesn't have a real company and a real logo. But so follow your targeted prospects, follow people that you maybe want to connect with, people that look like you want to look, people that you're wanting to have purchase from you. Those targeted prospects that meet these types of criteria, they're going to get it, and y'all are going to be able to build some great business together. The second part would be optimize your LinkedIn profile to build authority so that we're not getting those doubts like I was just discussing. Send a connection request to the targeted prospects, and using Messenger, right, to stay in contact with people, because when we look at some of these people, we're able to see things like who they're connected with. If I now go to somebody else's profile that somebody else is connected with, it gives us a way to open up conversations and network and do all that fun stuff. So if you're joining us on Facebook, I really appreciate this. Really appreciate you showing up. The Page to Promote group is continuing in LinkedIn. You can see, in Zoom, you can see the join URL and the header profile photo, but I'm going to stop the live stream so that we can take one-on-one questions. People can speak up and not feel the heat of being live. So thank you for joining us. Let us know what industry you're in. Let us know who your ideal prospects are here in the comments so that we can connect with each other. And if you do have any questions, let me know. I would love to get you access to this 100%. If you're in the Paid to Promote group, I'll send you a message with a link to it. If you're not, then just join and we'll get it over to you. So a few seconds. We'll stop the live stream. Thank you guys for joining.